Good morning, guys. Have you ever come across knowledge, or somebody's told you something, and you almost feel as if you already knew it, and that you just needed it to be pointed out to you, or for some dots to connect, yeah? Well, it's been getting like that for me a lot lately. Anyway, I watched Arwen Steiger a couple of nights ago. 26, he put this up. And he's really looking into this now, Magick, and in this video he was looking at the Babylonians in Sumeria and at their alphabet, and look at this, how much like sigils is the Babylonian alphabet. So Wayne goes on here to look at the Babylonians' sort of impact upon society, all the different firsts that they were responsible for, and then he goes on to talk about the different religions, and he talks about the King Solomon and the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is allegedly Solomon's book of magic. Now, King Solomon, yeah? King Solomon. Now, most of us just think of King Solomon as this wise king, you know, the wisest king in the Bible. Built this amazing temple. But there's a lot of mystery around it, isn't there, for us who aren't aware of magic and initiation and things like that. So Solomon is known for being the king of Israel, and biblical King Solomon was known for his wisdom. The traditional story of King Solomon begins with his father David and his mother Bathsheba. Yeah. During his reign, Solomon controlled... Oh God, I hate this. I'm not clicking it. I'm not clicking it. Everyone's coming up like that now. God. My internet details, my details must be everywhere. Anyway, get the idea. King Solomon was seen as this wise, sort of like brilliant leader. So then I found this last night. It's from a site called the Midnight Freemasons. So it's a group of master masons talk about topics of Masonic interest, each from their own unique perspective. So I'm going to leave the link to this because I haven't really sort of rambled around this site much because I just looked at this, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be lots of interesting information on there. I want to do one about the symbology of the pillars and things like that. Right, The Magic of King Solomon by Midnight Freemason contributor, Brother James E. Frey, 32 degrees. It's rising. So here's King Solomon before the Jinn, 1473. I pray thee, O King, listen to what has befallen all that thy child hath. After we are all released from our work on the temple of God after sunset, when I lie down to rest, one of the evil demons comes and takes away from me one half of my pay and one half of my food. Then he also takes hold of my right hand and sucks my thumb, and lo, my soul is oppressed, and so my body waxes thinner every day. Testament of Solomon, verse 4. My brethren, one tenet of the Masonic system is the constant reflection of the self. We must re-evaluate who we are morally as well as psychologically. It is this constant progression of self-understanding that makes us face our archetypal shadow and conquer the negative aspects of the self. This is best personified by the archetype of wisdom in the Masonic system, King Solomon. King Solomon is interesting because his archetypal characteristics are found throughout Mediterranean cultures. According to the Old Testament, King Solomon was charged to build the Temple of Solomon and was known as the wisest of all men. In the Islamic tradition, Solomon is regarded as a prophet and representative of Allah. But there is a hidden side of King Solomon, a side that has been repressed from the Western mythos, just as we hide the darker aspects of ourselves. So, in the Christian tradition, there is a separate myth that recounts Solomon not only as a wise king, but as a very powerful ceremonial magician. This tradition is recounted in the 15th century grimoire, The Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, and the Testament of Solomon, a Christian text dating around to the 1st and 5th centuries. Although the author of these obscure texts is unknown, its legend holds that it was a secret first-hand account of Solomon himself. Now, we don't know that. We don't know, do we? The book deals with vast legions of demons, summoning spirits, and magic rings. So the legend begins with a young man who is favoured by King Solomon. One day he is attacked by a demon by the name of Ornias, who used his demonic powers to suck the vitality and life from the youth's spirit. Upon hearing this news, Solomon summons the archangel Michael through the magical practice. According to the Lesser Key of Solomon, this magical practice was known as the Almadel, which is how Solomon was said to have received wisdom from the angels. Michael arrives to the troubled king and entrusts him with a magic ring bearing the six-pointed star, or the seal of Solomon, upon it. With this ring, Solomon gained the power to summon demons and spirits using his will to control them and command them to complete tasks. Solomon then took control over Ornias, who then infiltrated the demonic prince Beelzebul, granting Solomon power over the legion of demons. According to the Lesser Key of Solomon of the Ars Goetia, there are 72 demons that are parallel to the fallen angels described in the book of Enoch, who rebelled against God because they lusted after the daughters of man. It is important to note that these fallen angels also brought sorcery and the magical arts to the material realm. Beelzebul reveals how he was once a high-ranking angel before the fall. It was the four angels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, that descended down with their 72 angels of the Almadel and banished the rebellious demons into the four watchtowers of the universe. So, with King Solomon in full command of the 72 demons, he commands them to aid in the construction of the Temple of Solomon. This is where the legends of the Goetia and the Masonic system begin to meet. The Goetia's connections can be found in various places throughout the Masonic system, but often hidden so that the true initiate sees not the adept's design. The angelic names bore on the cross of the older versions of the 29th degree Knight of St. Andrew are a prime example. There is nowhere else in Kabbalistic or magical lore are these angelic names referred to, except the Greater Key of Solomon as the last pentacle of the sun. But these angels are referred to in Phoenician legend, so it seems to understand the importance of the Testament of Solomon. We must look at it from the theological perspective of the time. This book acts as a way to interpret pagan gods of various cultures and rework them into the roles of demons. I believe King Solomon was chosen by Christians as the master magician because of his close association with the worship of pagan gods to please his many foreign wives. So, according to Talmudic texts and the Book of Tolbit, King Solomon soon was placed face to face with the king of demons, Asmodeus. So he was known to trick Solomon into gaining his ring of power. He then cast into the sea, where it was swallowed by a fish. So this allowed the legions of demons to rise up against the king. Asmodeus then cast the king 400 miles outside Jerusalem. Solomon then lived as a beggar, working in kitchens and doing hard labour. Ancient rabbis claim this was a divine punishment by God for Solomon worshipping foreign deities. Years later he was walking in a market and bought a fish for his supper, the same fish that held the magic ring in his belly. God, it sounds like a great story, doesn't it? King Solomon then returns to Jerusalem to expel Asmodeus and his demonic rule. Asmodeus is said to be thwarted by the archangel Raphael, who binds him. According to a tale found in 1001 Arabian Nights, King Solomon is known as a master of the jinn and captures all the jinn or demons into a brass vessel, seals it with a magical symbol, and casts the vessel out to sea, trapping the jinn, whom he first summoned to build his temple. This legend is the basis for the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon. Wowee! So the Lesser Key of Solomon, the Goetia, is a medieval magical text that claims to give the techniques and materials needed to embark on the mystical path of Solomon. If we as Masons... right. The spirits of the Goetia are portions of the human brain. Their seals, therefore, represent methods of stimulating or regulating those particular spots through the eye. Now, I'm going to get you the Lesser Key of Solomon up here. Now, this is by S.L. MacGregor Mathers. I think he was Golden Dawn. So this is compiled and translated. So this is obviously not written by King Solomon. It's the compilation of texts from many different centuries. See, there's east, south, west, north. Apparently the best angels, the most strongest ones, come from the east and the west. Alright, there's something I want to read you here. It's very interesting. Lots of invocations. Okay. So, you want to know where the spirits come from. What are these spirits? So, it is loftily amusing to the student of magical literature who is not quite a fool, and rare is such a combination, to note the criticism directed by the Philistine against the citadel of her science. Truly, since our childhood has ingrained into us not only literal belief in the Bible, but also substantial belief in Alf Leia Valea, Layla. Alf Layla Valela. Word Layla. And only adolescence can cure us. We are only too liable in the rushing energy of dawning manhood to overturn roughly and rashly both of these classics, to regard them both on the same level as interesting documents from the standpoint of folklore and anthropology, and as nothing more. Even when we learn that the Bible, by a profound and minute study of the text, may be forced to yield up Kabbalistic arcana of cosmic scope and importance, we are too often slow to apply a similar restorative to the companion volume, even if we are the luck holders of Burton's veritable edition. It's all these texts that they are forever hunting about. Right, I'm going to move down just to show you. English children are taught that the universe lies in infinite space. Hindu children in the Akasa, which is the same thing. Those Europeans who go a little deeper learn from Fichte that the phenomenal universe is a creation of the ego. Okay. Talking the mind here. Hindus, or Europeans studying under Hindu gurus, are told that by Akasa is meant the Chitakasa. The Chitakasa is situated in the third eye in the brain. By assuming higher dimensions of space, we can assimilate this fact to realism, but we have no need to take so much trouble. This being true for the ordinary universe, that all sense impressions are dependent on changes in the brain, we must include illusions, which are, after all, sense impressions as much as realities are in the case of class of phenomena dependent on brain changes. Magical phenomena, however, come under a special subclass, since they are willed, and their cause is the series of real phenomena, called the operations of ceremonial magic. So in ceremonial magic you need sight, so that will be for the physical objects, the circle, the square, the triangle, vessels, lamps, robes, implements, etc. Sound, invocations, smell, perfumes, taste, the sacraments, touch, back to one again, the circle, square, vessels, robes, etc. And the mind, the combination of all these and reflection on their significance. These unusual impressions, 1 to 5, produce unusual brain changes, hence their summary. 6, mind, is of an unusual kind. Its projection back into the apparently phenomenal world is therefore unusual. Herein then consists the reality of the operations and effects of ceremonial magic. But can any of the effects described in this our book Goetia be obtained, and if so, can you give a rational explanation of the circumstances, say you so? I can and will. The spirits of the Goetia are portions of the human brain. Their seals, therefore, represent methods of stimulating or regulating those particular spots through the eye. The names of God are vibrations calculated to establish A. General control of the brain, B. Control of the brain in detail, C. Control of one special portion, and the perfumes aid this through smell. Usually the perfume will only tend to control a large area, but there is an attribution of perfumes to letters of the alphabet enabling one by a Kabbalistic formula to spell out the spirit's name. You see, I've got this thing about perfume at the moment. Everybody stinks of perfume. And all of these stars, all of these like Beyonce and all of them, they all have to bring out their own perfumes, don't they? And it seems that certain smells stimulate areas of our brain that contain these spirits. It's all about us, it's about consciousness. So when they're doing ritual magic, they're actually stimulating areas of the brain. Oh God. So if I then say with Solomon, the spirit Simerius teaches logic, what I mean is, those portions of my brain which subserve the logical faculty, it should be may, sorry. Those before, it's there, printing, not me. Those portions of my brain which subserve the logical faculty may be stimulated and developed by following out the processes called the invocation of Chimerius. And this is a purely materialistic, rational statement. It is independent of any objective hierarchy at all. Philosophy has nothing to say, and science can only suspend judgment, pending a proper and methodical investigation of the facts alleged. So, if we carry on, if you get good at this, Solomon promises we can obtain information, destroy our enemies, understand the voices of nature, obtain treasure, heal diseases. I have taken these at random. Bring up facts from the subconscious. Here we come to an interesting fact. It is curious to note the contrast between the noble means and the apparently vile ends of magical rituals. The latter are disguises for sublime truths. To destroy our enemies is to realise the illusion of duality, to excite compassion. Whew. Dear. So you'll be able to recognise the voices of the animals he studied. Business capacity will be improved. Sickness will be corrected, involving tissues being brought back to tone. I'm being very careful reading this. I'm not. You see, I've had a little look round at some videos, and there's plenty of witches on there invoking the demons of the Goetia, which I'll look at in my next video. Now, apparently these demons of the Goetia are actually quite simple to invoke. And these are the ones that most people stick with. I've got absolutely no intention at all of invoking spirits of the Goetia. None whatsoever. They're a dangerous bunch of demons. Well, angels and demons are the same. They have fixed attributes, and these don't change. So when they are created, they're told what they are, or they know what they are, and that is what they do, and they can't do anything else. So if you invoke an angel, and it has the ability to, take away despair, it will take away despair. But if it also has an ability to bring despair, you could summon that demon to go and hassle somebody. Yeah? Well, what I've done is I've had a little look around to find all the other bits and pieces of the Lesser Keys of Solomon. And I found some other very, very interesting stuff as well. Because it's my belief now that they've just been practicing magic all along, the Masons and everybody else, and we've all just been doing nothing. What have we been doing? Watching television, watching sport, power watching Netflix, going on holiday, going to work, feeling bad that we haven't really got any religion to stick to. Religions, they're for the masses, they're not for those that are sorting this place out. All I can hope is that there's evil intent, and there has to be good intent as well. The higher angels are the very, very good ones. And the highest angel of all, who isn't an angel, will be God. So I'm going to have a little look at some of these the next time I do a video on this, and look at just what this magic thing's about, how they do it, what is going on, and look at some of these demons and some of the angels and the zillions of other angels that they have beneath them, and they're called names like princes and dukes and vice presidents and presidents, as above, so below. Wowie.